Hello everyone! Our topic for this video is properties of operations on integers. The first property is the closure property. Under closure property, meron tayong closure property of addition, then the other one is the closure property of multiplication. Dito muna tayo kay addition. If A and B are two integers, then A plus B is also an integer. So, ibig sabihin, if nag-add tayo ng dalawang integers, ang sagot ay isa ring integer. Example, we have 7 plus 2 is equal to 9. 7 is an integer, 2 is an integer, and 9 is an integer. Next is closure property of multiplication. If A and B are two integers, then A times B is also an integer. So dito kay closure property of multiplication, pag nag-multiply tayo ng integer, ang sagot natin ay integer din. Example, we have 4 times 2 is equal to 8. 4 is an integer, 2 is an integer, and 8 is an integer. Commutative property. This property states that the order of the addends or factors does not affect the result. If A and B represent integers, then A plus B is equal to B plus A, and A times B is equal to B times A. Sa commutative property, kahit pagbalik na rin natin yung dalawang numbers na pinag-plus or pinag-times, we will still came up with the same answer. Example, we have 3 plus negative 7 is equal to negative 7 plus 3. So, yung sagot kay 3 plus negative 7 is negative 4, and the answer for negative 7 plus 3 is also negative 4. So, this is the commutative property of addition. Next is negative 2 times negative 6 is also equal to negative 6 times negative 2. The first answer is 12, then the second answer is also 12. This is the commutative property of multiplication. Kahit pagbalik na rin natin yung order ng addends and factors, hindi nag-iba ng sagot. Associative property. This property states that the grouping of the addends or factors does not affect the result if A, B, and C represent integers. Kung sa commutative property, changing of order ang pinag-uusapan, kay associative naman is grouping. So, paano malalaman kung nakagroup ang addends or factors? Ginagamitan siya ng parenthesis or ng brackets. Okay, so dito, we have parenthesis A plus B plus C. Sa left side ng equation, ang nakagroup ay yung A plus B. Sa right side naman, ang nakagroup na ay si B plus C. Sabi kay associative, kahit daw baguhin ang groupings ng addends or ng factors, hindi siya makaka-affect sa result natin. Kay multiplication naman, on the left side of the equation, we have A times B na nakagroup. Sa kabila, ang nakagroup na ay si B times C. So, example, we have 2 plus 3, nasa loob ng parenthesis, plus 1, is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 1. This time, ang nasa loob ng grouping symbol ay si 3 plus 1. So, let's solve. Let's start solving the equation inside the parenthesis. So, we have 2 plus 3, that is 5. Let's bring down 1, and then bring down 2, and then let's have 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Sa left side, we have 5 plus 1. The answer is 6. Then sa right side, we have 2 plus 4. The answer is also 6. So, hindi nagbago ng answer. So, that is associative property of addition. Let's move on with multiplication naman. So, we have inside the grouping symbol is negative 2 times 3, then times 4. Sa kabilang side ng equation, ang nakagrouping symbol ay si 3 times 4. So, let's solve first the numbers inside the parenthesis. So, we have negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Bring down 4. And then, on the right side of the equation, bring down negative 2. Then, let's solve 3 times 4. That is positive 12. We have negative 6 times 4 is equal to negative 24. Then, sa right side of the equation, negative 2 times 12 is also negative 24. hindi nagbago yung sagot natin kahit magkaiba or pinagpalit or nag-rearrange tayo ng nasa loob ng grouping symbol. So, this is associative property of multiplication. Distributive property. So, sa property na to, from its word, distribute, ibig sabihin, ipapamahagi natin siya sa bawat isa. For any integers a, b, and c, we have a quantity b plus c is equal to a times b plus a times c. And we have a quantity b minus c is equal to a times b minus a times c. Okay, dito, dinistribute natin si a kay b, kaya we have a times b. Then we distribute a to c, that's why we have a times c. Then addition, yung operation natin dito, so we have addition here. Next is we have a times b, so we have a times b here. Then the operation is subtraction, so again, subtraction. Then we distribute a to c, so we have a times c. So example, we have negative 2 times the quantity 3 plus 5 is equal to negative 2 times 3 plus negative 2 times 5. So, dinistribute natin si negative 2 kay 3, kaya nagkaroon tayo ng negative 2 times 3. And, dinistribute natin si negative 2 kay 5, kaya meron tayong negative 2 times 5. Then, we have the addition. If we are not going to use the distributive property, we will have 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Then bring down negative 2, and negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. Sa distributive property naman, dito we have negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Bring down the positive sign or the plus sign. Then negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Then negative 6 plus negative 10 is equal to negative 6 also. So we have the distributive property over addition is true. Next, let's have the subtraction. Negative 5 times the quantity 4 minus 2 is equal to negative 5 times 4 because we distribute number 5 to 4. So we have negative 5 times 4. Then the operation now is subtraction. Then we distribute negative 5 to 2. So we have negative 5 times 2. Dito sa left side, ang una nating sasagutan is yung nasa loob ng parenthesis. So, we have 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Then, bring down natin negative 5. So, negative 5 times 2 is equal to negative 10. Then, on the right side of the equation, nung nag-distribute na tayo, let's answer. So, we have negative 5 times 4 is equal to negative 20. Bring down the minus sign. Then, negative 5 times 2, we have negative 10. So, we have negative 20 minus negative 10 is also negative 10. So, the distributive property over subtraction is true. Identity property. So, identity property is nahahati sa dalawa. The first one is the additive identity property. The sum of any number and zero is the given number itself. So, ibig sabihin, kapag nag-plus daw tayo ng 0, the answer is the number itself or siya mismo. Example, we have 4 plus 0 is equal to 4. The given number is 4, then the answer is also 4. So, yun yung tinatawag nating identity. Siya mismo yung, kung sino yung tanong natin, siya mismo yung nasa sagot natin. So, in our example, the question is 4, then we add it to 0, then the answer is the number 4 itself. Then the next one is 0 plus negative 6 is equal to negative 6. In our question, we have negative 6, we add it to 0, the answer is still negative 6. So dito, we use 0 as our identity element for addition. Ibig sabihin, kahit anong number ang inad natin kay 0, our answer is the same with the given number. Then the next one is the multiplicative identity property. So, the product of any number and 1 is the given number itself. So, dito kay multiplicative, ang ginamit naman niya is number 1. So, kahit anong number, if you multiply to number 1, your answer is the given number itself. So, example, we have 5 times 1 is equal to 5. The given number is 5, then the answer is also 5. Then we have 1 times negative 8 is equal to negative 8. Negative 8 is given, then our answer is also negative 8. Kung ano yung nasa question natin, yun din yung nasa answer natin. Magkamuka yung given number and sa resulting number. So, yun yung tinatawag nating identity. Dito kay multiplicative identity, the identity element is the number 1. Inverse property. So, katulad ng identity property, ang inverse property ay nahati sa dalawa. So, the first one is the additive inverse property. The sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. So, from the word additive inverse, ang ibig sabihin dyan is its opposite. So, ano nga ba yung additive inverse? So, example, we have 4 plus negative 4. Yung tinatawag ditong additive inverse is the negative 4. Or, ang ibig sabihin ng additive inverse is its opposite. So, we have 4. Its opposite is negative 4. Next is negative 6. Its opposite is 6. So, sabi kay additive inverse, kapag nag-plus tayo ng kanyang opposite, our answer is 0. So, 4 plus negative 4 is equal to 0. Negative 6 plus 6 is equal to 0. Next, we have the multiplicative inverse property. The product of any number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1. Okay, dito, meron tayong tinatawag na reciprocal or yung pinagbaliktad. Okay, example, we have 4 times 1/4 is equal to 1. Then negative 6 times negative 1 over 6 is equal to 1. Sino nga ba yung reciprocal? So, we have 4 here. Alam naman natin that 4 ay galing yan sa 4 over 1. So, ang reciprocal niya is 1 over 4. Then, kapag minultiply daw yung dalawang magka-reciprocal, the answer is always 1. Dito, we have negative 6. So, alam natin that it is negative 6 over 1. So, its reciprocal is negative 1 over 6. Kapag kinukuha ang multiplicative inverse, if this is negative, ang kanyang inverse ay negative pa din. Okay? So, we have multiplicative inverse, the answer is always 1. Kay additive inverse, the answer is always 0. Zero property of multiplication. The product of any number and 0 is 0. So, ibig sabihin, kahit anong number, kapag minultiply mo kay 0, ang sagot ay laging 0. Example, we have 9 times 0 is equal to 0. 0 times 9 is equal to 0. Negative 9 times 0 is equal to 0. So, kahit gaano kalaking number yan, basta minultiply kay 0, your answer is always 0. Let's try. Identify the property that justify each statement. Okay, number 1. We have 5 plus 7 is equal to 7 plus 5. As you can see, pinagbaliktad yung dalawang numbers na pinag-plus. So that is commutative. Number 2. Sa number 2, we have the grouping symbol parenthesis. And then, the number 3 was being distributed to 1 and 4. So, that is distributive property. Next, number 3. We have negative 10 plus 10 is equal to 0. As you can see on the question, we have negative 10 and positive 10. So, that is additive inverse or opposite. So that is additive inverse property. Next is 11 times 0. You multiply a number by 0, so that is 0 property. Next, sa number 5, the first equation is 2 plus 3 plus 7. Naka-group yung 2 and 3. Dun sa right side ng ating equation, ang naka-group na ay si 3 plus 7. So that is associative property of addition. Then number 6, we have 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 1 is integer, 2 is integer, our answer is integer, so that is closure property. Sa number 7, we have 1 times 36 is equal to 36. Kung sino yung nasa question natin, yun din yung ating resulting. So that is identity or the multiplicative identity property. Number 8, we have 1 over 5 times 5 is equal to 1. So this is inverse because 1 over 5, kapag nireciprocal mo yan, that is 5 over 1 or 5. So number 8 is multiplicative inverse property. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell para updated pa kayo sa mga susunod nating video.